Hey everybody, welcome back. Last week's video ran a little long because I just didn't realize how much content there was, and I just kept editing, and I even got out quite a bit. But we're back this week, and basically we're going to cover some small details and kind of work on some small stuff left over from last week. Like for instance, we got 5 wires coming out of the wall meeting here, and they don't all fit in wire nuts, so I got a little bit going there to kind of spread some of that out, but that needs to be cleaned up. I have the parts for that. Here I've got a box and covers, and basically this box will go kind of right up there in that area, and then there's some wires for the kitchen meeting up above the ceiling in this box. Another one will go right about here. I'll make the connections inside and cover them up with a blank plate. I also, instead of wire nuts, picked up a bunch of lever nuts, and these particular ones are 5. These are 3, these are 2. So like these will fix up that whole corner over there, and all those will just join in one of these, or 3 of these. I also picked up some pot lights. Basically, I've got to fix that wall, I got to take this light cover down, and it's all one piece, and there's like 3 mounting points. There's one at each end and one in the middle, and so I figure while I'm at it, I might as well grab the wires that are coming out of here, run them up and over, and pop some pot lights into the ceiling. I got 4 more to go in the dining room side of things, and these are just holding me over until it's time to remodel the thing, but it should be significantly better lighting than this old fluorescent stuff. But I got 4 of those. I got them kind of marked out on the floor where they need to go. I need to transfer those to the ceiling. I also got new junction boxes for everything that I cut open and exposed last week, so I can replace the original metal ones. These will give me a lot more space. And last but not least, I picked up these. These are made by a company called Shelly, S-H-E-L-L-Y, and they're smart switches. So they have little Wi-Fi radios in them and stuff, and they will work with my home assistant. There's a couple cool things about them, though. One is they can report power usage, and I'm kind of curious because it has 2 switched outputs, if they can report power usage on both outputs or if it's a total of the 2. If they do them separately, then I think I'll program one of the outputs to always be on, and then it'll go to all the plugs in the room. Then I can monitor the power usage in the whole room. But if it's combined, then I just won't use the second outputs. But basically, I'm going to put these in the walls upstairs at my bedroom and this bedroom, the bathroom, and I'm probably going to put one for the gable fan right now, and that will allow them to be smart. But the cool thing about them is they keep the original toggle switch. So to the end user walking up and using it, it looks completely normal, but you can also control it through Home Assistant, and through Home Assistant or the app, you can also do dimming of the lights. And fuck? Well, that didn't last long. Not even 5 minutes of use, and the thing just exploded. I've been told, I mean, I've read endless things about how this is a good brand, but holy fucking shit. The first one, it was up and running for a little bit, and then its little Wi-Fi just died, and I couldn't find it. So that's why I swapped it out. And now this one has exploded. So, I'm not a fan of this. This is fucking horrible. So I've installed the pot lights and the power supplies for them. I did not do it properly. I should have used a hole saw from the bottom up. So there's some defects down there, but I don't care because this is going to eventually be torn out. So it's decent enough for now. I believe that this line here runs down to the fluorescent light, which would also be this line here. So in theory, I should be able to cut that and then come down here, run it through the joist and into there. I need to test that though. Gotta come up with a way to test that. All right, so here we are. I was correct. That is for the fluorescent lights, which has now been removed. And instead of cutting it, I removed it from down there and pulled it up. And so we have a thing here. I need to throw a little J box there. But it goes into fixture 1, 2, comes around, that one. I use the 12 gauge wire because that's all I have, so it's way overkill. And all those connections in the boxes, the ground ones, are connected, but obviously that one doesn't have a ground, and the circuit going to the switch doesn't have a ground. So the circuit itself isn't. But I'm ready for when I switch the kitchen over to its own circuit. It'll actually be grounded, and I won't have to redo any of that. So let's go downstairs and see if they turn on and see how well the kitchen looks. All right, so here we go. Oh, that's much better looking. Yeah, that's significantly better looking. So yep, that definitely confirms I'm gonna do the same thing over here. When I put the drywall up, I'll use the same lights. I got the model number so I can order more of them, and I'll put them here. And yeah, this will be significantly better. I like that. That works so much better. On to the next small project. All right, so what is this stuff? This is what's called mass-loaded vinyl. It weighs about half a pound per square foot. And the idea is I'm going to use flanged nails like you'd use on the underlayment of a roof. And I'm going to nail these down, and then I'll trim them. I'll work my way this way, but I'll trim them so they kind of fit the joists and whatnot. But the idea is they'll sag a little bit between each joist. And kind of hang down, and it's a sound barrier. So it's a sound blocker, and so any sound coming up through the ceiling into this floor, or the other way from the floor down, a lot of it will get stopped by this here. And then when I redo the dining room and the kitchen, I will fill the bottom with insulation meant for a 6-inch wall. Which will leave plenty of gap between there and there. It won't do anything heat-wise, but that will absorb sound. So any sound that gets caught in the joist will be absorbed by that. And that should make for a really, really quiet room. It should allow for people downstairs to cook and do what they need to do, and people up here to not hear it at all. And I may even do resilient channel down there so that there's very few contact points between the drywall and the joists. And that will help with sound as well. I haven't decided if I'm going to do that yet or not. That's quite a ways down the road. But basically, this goes down. The next step is a new subfloor. And I think I got a couple of things to do before that, but I just wanted to kind of get this in and kind of get an idea of what it looks like. I need to pop up this piece of subfloor and finally take out this whole wall corner thing. And it should be getting cooler soon, so this room won't get as hot as it does right now. Once I get the subfloor in, I can finish ripping out this drywall, I can frame it in, and I can actually start making this look like a room again. And this mass load of vinyl will go underneath here, it'll go underneath the bathroom, it'll go underneath the hallway, it'll go underneath all the subfloor I rip out. When I rip out the other room and redo it, it'll go underneath there. And it should help make for a super, super quiet house. So because the light switch thing failed, I went with the second option, which is the Lutron Cassetta stuff. The reason it was the second option is mainly because of price. Basically, for a wired hub that can handle more devices, it's $150, and then the switches themselves are something like $70 a piece, versus the other thing, which blew up, but it was like $35 for 4 of them. So the next step, I guess, is to plug the hub in, get it on the network, and get that set up, and then I can start putting in switches. All right, so I forgot to record it, but I got a new Lutron switch in, replaced the Shelly, which had that nice blowing up problem. So these work great. Off button, on button, they turn on full brightness, and then you can adjust how dimmed they are from there. They work with Home Assistant really well. The only thing I wish these did that the other ones don't do is if you're physically pressing the buttons, it'll only control what's going out of it. You can't have Home Assistant do something else with that button press as well. So like I can't hit an on button and have it also turn on a hue light. Whereas I could have done that with the Shelly. But these also don't blow up in your wall and burn your house down. So there's that. So I've ordered 3 of them. I've got this one in. I'll show you the other 2. I'm gonna put one behind this door. And that will make it hopefully a little easier for the next person, the next roommate. Put one there. And then I put 2 here, so one for the kitchen, and it works fine with the LEDs, and it kind of dims out like you're supposed to. And if you're looking for something that's not very bright, you can just walk in and hit the dim or the 1 up on the brightness, and just get that, so you're not blinded at night. Or you can hit the top button and go all the way bright. And it even dims the stuff out here kind of okay. It's not perfect, but it's okay. It's less dim than if it was on. I mean, that's the minimum setting, and then you can brighten it a little bit. It's nothing magic, but it's much better. It's an interesting design. It was one thing that was really confusing is that it has a ground which is soldered onto here, and then it's got 2 black wires, which black is normally hot. And the instructions literally just say hook either wire up to hot and either one up to the output. So I was super doubting that, like, it made no sense. But it works. I don't know. I can't explain that. It works. So here's one of those little goofy things. This is actually tipped slightly this way, slightly at a level, so it's tipping down this way. And it was dripping off of this front corner, and I put this glass here to catch it. And on a really humid day, like yesterday, you had to empty it like 4 times a day. So yesterday, I went outside and I looked at it, and there's lots of little low points. Sorry about the farty car. There's lots of low points, and I just went through, and you probably see here. So I just went through and drilled a bunch of holes in the low points. So there's one there, there's one right there, there's one up in the corner there, and it started dripping outside like it's supposed to, and it hasn't dripped inside since. So I think I kind of solved that little problem there. So that's all I have for you this week. Some of y'all have figured out that the next video will be about the 1 year mark. In fact, it marks exactly 1 year to the day that I moved into here. So for that video, I think I'm going to do kind of a before and after, see what progress we've made for the week. Also, I figure I'd answer some more questions. So over the next week or two, just shoot me some questions and we'll do a little Q&A in the next one. And yeah, we'll try to do back-to-back of what this house looked like the day I walked in here and what it looks like today. Thanks for watching, guys. Please hit like, subscribe, share with some friends or something. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in a couple weeks.